2012 will be a year of potential transition as Mexico and Venezuela enter their presidential election cycles. Meanwhile, in the southern cone of South America, Brazil and its neighbors will spend the year mitigating the effect of financial turmoil in Europe. Across Latin America, trade tensions with China will be on the rise as China seeks alternative export markets to Europe. First, we will look to Mexico, where the three main parties are gearing up for what will unquestionably be a vicious fight for voter approval ahead of July 1 polls. The ruling center-right National Action Party, or PAN, led by Mexican President Felipe Calderón, will struggle to boost its popularity after nearly 6 years of extreme drug-related violence and an uncertain global economic climate. With the Institutional Revolutionary Party candidate Enrique Peña Nieto far in the lead at the turn of the year, both the PAN and the left-wing Revolutionary Democratic Party will struggle to catch up. In this delicate electoral climate, it is unlikely that the Mexican government will be able to dramatically shift its strategy in the cartel war. Any serious uptick in counter-cartel activity could exacerbate cartel violence without a guarantee of neutralizing any particular cartel. On the other hand, any suggestion of backing down from the fight would be politically unpalatable, even though it might reduce violence in the long run. The Los Zetas, Sinaloa, and many smaller cartels will continue to battle each other and the government on both coasts, and they will also spread measurable influence into Central and South America. Further south, the voters of Venezuela are facing a similar choice. With presidential polls approaching in October, the opposition will make its most credible challenge to Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez since he gained office. The status of Chavez's health is a closely held state secret, and despite Chavez's apparent good spirits at the moment, there is reason to believe that he may still be very ill. This instability makes it difficult to precisely project what 2012 will hold for Venezuela. However, we expect growing economic uncertainty, periodic infrastructure failure, poor distribution of basic goods, and the rising trends of protests to continue. Just to Venezuela's north, Cuba too will find 2012 to be a year of transition as the island continues to implement cautious liberal reforms. Cuba's current geopolitical challenge is to balance U.S. liberalization demands with the island's need for subsidized Venezuelan oil. A significant political shift in Venezuela could force Cuba to reach out to the United States as a much more powerful, but also much more politically invasive economic partner. Shifting to Brazil, we expect 2012 to be a year of fierce internal focus for the South American economic giant. Brazil can expect shocks to trade and capital flows stemming from the crisis in Europe. But with only 10% of Brazil's GDP dependent on exports, Brazil is much less vulnerable than most commodity exporting countries. In this period of economic slowdown, the challenge will be to strike a balance between growth and inflation with judicious fiscal outlays and limited monetary expansion. Trade protectionism will be a key component of the country's intention to shield vulnerable industries from external shocks. Simultaneously, China will be on the lookout in 2012 for alternative export markets, and the confluence of these two trends will drive increased bilateral tensions between China and Brazil.